So, this video is not going to be easy for me, but it is for me, and it's for my father, who I lost to a long battle with a variety of terminal diseases. He never gave up, but he finally succumbed. And he was a gamer's gamer. I mean, I was looking up some of the statistics, and I couldn't find the ones, at least through my friends list. Maybe if I boot up his Xbox, it'll show. I couldn't find the ones for the Xbox 360, but I saw that for Elder Scrolls Online, he had played 319 days. So almost day and night, almost an entire year of his life was in Elder Scrolls Online. Minecraft, I think he had around 85 days. So 85 times 24. That's how many hours he had into Minecraft. 320 times 24 is how much he had into Elder Scrolls Online. And I also saw that he was in World of Tanks for about 50 days. So that's over 1,000 hours in World of Tanks. And so he was not necessarily a good man, and especially to his family. And I was all he had left. And it's sad whenever I look at his friends list, and I'm his only friend, even though he had like 20 some followers. But he never communicated to anyone else on Xbox. I think every once in a great while, if someone really pissed him off, he might get on the headset and just say, "I'm a sick old man, leave me alone, stop messaging me." But otherwise, I think I know he avoided other people, even though he loved multiplayer games. So I've already canceled. This is a private Minecraft server that he created because we were having problems through our internet connections connecting to each other's game because of his strict NAT settings that he couldn't change. So he ended up a couple of years ago ponying up for a small realm, and we used to join up every once in a while. So I was going to do like San Andreas, because I think that was probably one of his favorite games ever. But then again, I look at Skyrim, and that could be one of his favorite games ever. I'm just doing the Minecraft because it's something we shared, where so many of the games that him and I enjoyed were solo player, like Skyrim or Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. This is the one where we probably spent the most time together. Although we did spend some time in Elder Scrolls Online, and I got little vignettes or little stories about some of these things that I want to memorialize as well. So we were a dysfunctional father and son. He was a dysfunctional man. I am as well. And I'm not going to get into a lot of that, but he was unapologetic to the end. But gaming was something that we both loved and shared, and it's probably the one thing that kept us together, or made it tolerable for us to keep lines of communication open. But it's funny, even in video games, we never coexisted in the same building. We never cohabitated. It's just, games imitating life, I suppose. So, I don't even remember what I was doing here. I was like in the process of messing around. This is a beach area. I know I was quick growing sugar cane for something. I was using a paper or something. I can't remember what I was doing there. I was also using it before I torched it up to just spawn in some random baddies. Just a little storage area. I guess potion making was over there. Oh, I know. Oh, that looks painful. I know this is the zombie spawner room. Yep. And this would be the villagers for trading, so I could get emeralds. A lot of death skulls around here. So, enchanting area, the zombie XP farm. I don't see lava. Normally I had it where I could burn them. But I must have taken that out. I do definitely have it where you can drown them, so I could get the armor and save it. I guess I didn't get any diamond armor off of these yet. I don't think we even played this world that long together. Yeah, I was trying to make a little base for him here where he could do everything, but once I was trying to show him that he could use these as a way to attack. Actually, he wouldn't use swords hardly at all. He was always a ranged fighter, using bows and stabs and guns. So, yeah. But you could use a bow through here. It wouldn't matter. Shooting a bow out there. Whoa! What the hell? That was weird. Yeah. So, I'll show you his base. Like I said, a lot of this is just to remind me. I think this is more for me and him than it is for anyone else, but sheep farm, right? Yeah, sheep farm. Just collecting wool. That guy. Alright, let me grab my horse. It's been over a year since him and I played this. One thing I'll say, maybe I'll go in the nether later, was this past year he had been in the hospital almost all the time. He'd be in for a month or months, and then he might get out for a week or maybe even 2, and then he'd be right back in the hospital. And that often happens when you're fighting terminal diseases. You know, you pick up infections and other things happen, and you just, you know, I don't know. It's amazing how long he lived with all that. But and his birthday was just not even 2 weeks before he died, so I'm glad he got to see his 75th birthday. But he barely got to game at all this last year because of how much he was in the hospital. Even when he got home, he barely got to put any time in gaming because he was just so sick. So yeah, there's his base. Oh, there's gonna be some funny things to document over here. I don't even have to remember what it is. I just know things he does. What the hell is this? What was he doing here? I'll think on that. This is one I know. I could just tell. This is quintessential him. He would not go underground. He was just absolutely would not go underground in Minecraft. I don't understand why. You know, he obviously is completely, this is one of his nuances, he's completely aware of how to use torches and lights, but he was, I don't know what to call it, terrified of underground in Minecraft. So anytime he found a tunnel system, he would, this horse is horrible, he would, for jumping, he would box them off like this so he couldn't get into them and no one could get out. It's just comical. Here's another one right here. Yeah, you could just tell he's boxing them out. You know, I'm surprised he left only one. Normally he would build that up to 2 so he couldn't accidentally go in there all the way around it. Let me lay down and get it to be like, maybe, what does it matter? I mean, there's so many torches around here. I don't think anything can spawn within 50 tiles. Let me, I'll throw down a bed real fast. But, yeah, he was not a creative person when it came to building. Neither am I, really. You saw what I built over there. There's a creeper. Where's the bowman? He should be here. He'd be squatting down over here, aiming and shooting him with an arrow. Oh, well. Yeah, just whatever. So yeah, yeah, and I mean, this is also, you would think, oh, is that a marker for where he's going to do? Oh, another creeper. No, those 3, that's just so he marks that he remembers where his base is. It's not like all these lights, that mountain, that tree that could have been on the mountain to make it even more visible. Oops. It's not like all that's enough. No. He had to throw up these stupid little pills. Oh, I know what this is. This was, I don't remember what they're called, those winter berries in the snow biomes. I told him that if he just had like channels like this, that he could run through and pick them when they were ready to harvest, and he wouldn't prick himself, because he used to always like squat down and get kind of close and then hit it, and then I don't know why, it's just weird. Nuanced, like I said. But I guess many of us are. Yeah, look at all these torches. And then let's go inside. Let's see. Yeah, this is his room. I think he's going to need some more light. I tried to tell him things like, these alone would keep anything from spawning, just the way you have these. Oh, hell no. Everything had to have 1,000 torches. What's this to? Know what he's building over here. Oh. Nothing. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he's cutting a tunnel to something? I don't know. Oh, well. Oh yeah, there was, I think there's a village. Let me go outside. I think it's back that way. Oh, what am I doing? I should know better. Yeah, the village is over there. I almost swung at my horse. Yeah, there's the village. So that means right over behind this mountain is one of those outposts for the pillagers or whatever they're called. I can't remember. It's been a long time. Okay, so he had, what are those, beets or whatever in here growing? Well, they're grown. It's nice and lit up again. Oh, God, look at all that light. So funny. What's this? What in the hell was he doing here? I can't imagine he was doing this to mine cobblestone. He had to be building something. Maybe a new base? Just deeper? Maybe he was going to put multiple floors in? I have no idea what the hell this is for. But I do know he found a tunnel, and I guarantee you he boarded it up. Jesus Christ. He would wait. He would play for weeks before I would join one of his games sometimes. And he would not have iron, no diamonds, unless he got them through a villager trade or something like that, or a chest somewhere. He would not go underground. It was so funny. So he would wait forever for me to join the game, so we could do a little expedition and get him some of those materials. Oh, that's just so funny. So funny. And it sounds like he was a bad gamer. He was not a bad gamer. Actually, in many games where I thought, oh, I'm a better gamer than him, no, he sunk more hours into it and was better than me. Yeah, right there is the outpost. Oh, well. So, what else did I want to say? What is that? I thought that was a torch. I don't know what is that. What the hell is that? I have no idea. What are those things? I don't know what that is. I thought they were redstone torches or something, but now I'm not so sure. I don't know. He hasn't played in a year probably, and neither have I. The hell was he? I don't even know what those are. Oh well. So, what do I want to say? I started the channel as a distraction because I had decided a couple times in life, back around 2013, I took some time away from work and helped him with some life-saving surgery, getting through the process and recovering. And I thought that might have been the end of his time. I thought it was coming, but he pulled through that, and he did really good for many years, obviously, after 10 years. But I don't know, maybe 4 years ago or something, I could tell he was over 70, and I knew that he didn't have a lot of time left. And one thing he wanted was to live as long as humanly possible, and enjoy video games and food. And so I decided I was going to help him navigate his healthcare journey and the end of his life. And so I was doing that, and at first, it was pretty easy, and we'd enjoy things, going out to eat, playing video games together, the little things. And then, I don't know why I came to the nether. He got some, he got an initial cancer diagnosis, and he just refused to get a biopsy. He would not get a biopsy. He refused. He was just afraid of what was going to come back. And I fought with him, and the doctors fought with him for over a year. And he would only allow them to monitor his condition through ultrasounds. And as the tumor was growing, they kept saying, we need to figure out what this is before it spreads. And he wouldn't. And when he finally did it, and they froze the tumor, they found that it was benign, if I remember right. I know it wasn't malignant. And I think they didn't think it had spread, but I don't know how much they knew or tested on that. What the hell? Oh my God. Oh, this is the secret base I was going to move him to, a new base that I thought he might have liked since he didn't like the beach. Oh, I forgot all about this. Oh man, he never saw this. This is just sad. I think I found another zombie spawner somewhere over here. And, yeah, right there. Damn it. I was prepping it. I was gonna... Can't remember. Was there another spawner room somewhere in here? Maybe I can't remember if somewhere around, maybe there was a skeleton spawner or a spider spawner. I don't remember. But I was just starting to work on adapting this, and I was going to make just a huge farm slash, I don't know. There's my old nether portal that I broke. So I was trying to get it to go back to my house. I forgot it didn't work, so I just made a new one. There's all the parrots I collected. The dogs, red and black, are over here. Hey, buddies. Yeah, why don't y'all follow me? They are in memoriam of my the two dogs that passed away over the years that I loved. So, what was I saying? I don't even remember. Yeah, this is so stupid. I put this roof on it, so if he was just, using one of his, poling up with dirt so he could look, and if he was riding around or running around trying to see things, that I was going to put trees on top, and I never did. I knew I forgot. I just never got to it. I was going to disguise this a little to where he wouldn't know that this was here, and then one day I was just going to reveal it and bring him over and say, hey, why don't you use this place, and just have everything set up for him already. And the best laid plans, I guess. Oh well. So I know, I was saying, I was helping him navigate his end of life healthcare journey. You know what? I should start earlier, so I don't forget. The as a kid, he obviously didn't have video games like home consoles and things like that. And when I was a kid, he loved having home consoles, and was often out buying the newest versions of the consoles. He loved the console wars, and he always chose the losers. He never would get an Atari, so we had Coleco, television, we had Magnavox Odyssey. He wouldn't get the Nintendo when it came out. We had the Sega Dreamcast and Genesis. Just funny. But when him and I were growing up, and when we were gaming most of our lives, everything was solo or couch co-op. There's no internet, which it's so weird to think that the younger people nowadays have never grown up without the internet and without multiplayer games. But for him and me, it was fascinating as that developed. And but I had started playing PlayStation 1, and I never played Xbox, and I actually returned my PlayStation 1. I bought it for like a month or something, and they had a policy at the store that if you returned it within a month and it was in good condition, they would give you a full refund. And I just was in college, and I didn't want it, and I didn't like the games. I thought it was lame. So I returned it, and I remember it was somewhere in, 2005 to 2007 ish. I had a coworker who wanted to get rid of his PlayStation 2, and I think I wanted Madden. I can't remember if he had that or not, but he was going to sell me the PlayStation 2 and at least 2 games, because I remember there were 2 specifically, and it was going to be $50. And I said, sure, yeah. So, a day later, he brought the gaming system, the PlayStation 2, and he brought the 2 games. And they were Grand Theft Auto 3 and San Andreas. And I said, well, which one came first? And he goes, well, San Andreas is a new one. Don't even play Grand Theft Auto 3, it's a waste. It's horrible. Just go right to San Andreas. I'm like, no, I want to play. I'll play them both. I'll start with Grand Theft Auto 3, and then after I'm done with that, I'll go to San Andreas. And so I went home that night, I plugged it in, and I started playing Grand Theft Auto 3, and I think it was the whole, you touch water and you die. That seems to be what sticks in my mind. And I was just not having fun with it. And so I ended up shutting it down, and I put in San Andreas. And it was not long, and I called up my father and I said, you have got to, I know he had an Xbox, but I said, you have got to get San Andreas. And I don't think San Andreas was on, I don't even remember, but he ran out and bought a PlayStation 2, I think the very next day, with a copy of San Andreas. And for the last, I don't know what it's been, like 12, 13, 14 years, he had an absolute love affair with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. He bought the 360 game. He got the mobile port when it came out. He got the trilogy when it came out just for San Andreas. And he absolutely, I think I had a path to my base over here I was working on. I was going to minecart it. He absolutely loved San Andreas. I think it was the most revolutionary game possibly ever. I guess, Skyrim would be another one that people might argue, and that'd be a good argument. It'd be hard to say. They're both revolutionary. And I'll talk about Skyrim next, because that was another one of his. It's so hard. I wish I could see how many hours he put into the 360 versions of those. Because, oh my God, it would probably be more than he did to Elder Scrolls. By far, it'd be more than 300 days, I would have to guess, because he was always playing those games. Just unreal how much he loved San Andreas and Skyrim. And I do too. I think, like I said, they're fantastic games. But he also loved, but he was a Bethesda fanboy. I mean, once he played Skyrim, that was it. And I don't think Bethesda could have released a game that he wouldn't have tried and probably enjoyed. He loved Elder Scrolls Online. And, man, it's so depressing, because he went into a hospital this last time. He was in it for 2 months before he died. He went in like days before Starfield was released. And he had been waiting so long. He also loved Fallout 4. In fact, neither of us had played any of the Elder Scrolls before Skyrim. Neither of us had ever played any of the Fallouts before 4. And he loved Fallout 4. Not nearly as much as Skyrim or San Andreas, but he still really enjoyed it. I remember going to the hospital day after day and just saying, I played a little more Starfield. You'll love it. I said, it's got problems, but you're going to love this game. And he never even got to see it. It's so depressing. Some of the franchises, let me think of some of the franchises that he really loved over the years. Dragon Age, right? That's it, Dragon Age. He didn't like, is it Origins, the one where it's the turn-based or whatever? But, oh my God, he had all the Dragon Age games. And I told him there's a new Dragon Age. I think it comes out in 2024. You got to stick around for that. He loved... like I said, the Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, and Online. He loved Grand Theft Auto. He loved GTA 5, and even the online portion of it. But I'm going to talk about that in a minute, because Yeah, it needs to be addressed. What are some others that he really loved of the franchises? The Mafia ones, Mafia 1, 2, and 3. Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag. Oh my God. He's a hero. He is unbelievable. I played the game for a while, and I don't understand it because I didn't play it. I didn't play this aspect of the game, but I guess after you advance far enough in Black Flag, you can send out ships like real time, and after, I don't know, like 10 or 12, 15, 24 hours or something, you can go back and they will have returned and you get points towards a global leaderboard. He did this for years and years. And he would keep telling me, well, I made number, 100 and what, or, 89. I got to go another, whatever, 600,000 points. I'll be at 88. And I'm like, do you realize that all the people who came above you on this leaderboard probably cheated and used some sort of system time glitch to get the points? Yeah, I don't care. I'm just doing what I do. I can't even remember if I said he wasn't he wasn't on the internet. He didn't use computers. He had a flip phone. I was his internet search engine, and so he didn't know if I didn't teach him glitches or he didn't find something or a cheat, he didn't use them because he wouldn't know. But he broke into the top 20. It was like his proudest moment in gaming. He is in the top 20 of Assassin's Creed Black Flag global leaderboard for whatever the fuck it's called when you send your ships out and have them come back. It's amazing to me because I'm like, everyone else cheated and you did this the right way. And it took you so many years and so much time. He would literally set his alarm clock to get up to work his ships. And he was so frustrated anytime he had to go to the, go in the hospital that he wouldn't be there to advance his ships. But every time he'd get out, that'd be the first thing he'd start with. Got to get my ships taken care of. And it's just so depressing. I think it was good. He was trying to guess. He's like, another 3 or 5 years, I'll break the top 10. I'm like, Jesus Christ, they'll shut the server down before you're that far. But I guess it didn't matter, did it? But yeah, what a hero. I mean, unbelievable. I would have given up. I never even tried it, but I would have given up ages and ages ago. And he didn't. He just liked that part of the game and just kept going. Well, I missed that. Dog by a mile. Why don't you come over here, dog? Should probably put you all inside, but whatever. What else can I say? So yeah, that's how we were introduced to Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and Skyrim. Let me do Skyrim now real fast. So I had moved away for a couple of years for work. It was nice to have my distance from him too. This was probably early around 2011, 2012, and his health he was having some problems. And I was hating work and hating the state I lived in, and he was not seeking treatment. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to quit my job. I'll go back to my house. I'll be near him, and I'll start getting involved in his doctor's visits. And, let's see what's up with him. He would have been, like in his early 60s. And, let's try to, get him to live longer. So I moved back, quit my job, moved back. And before I did, though, I talked to this one guy there who I knew was a gamer, but he was mostly PC. And I said, hey, do you ever game on Xbox? He's like, yeah. I said, my dad plays San Andreas and Dead Island. He was always calling me at work or at home, middle of the night, middle of the day. Didn't matter. He'd be like, I need you to look something up for me on the internet. I'd be like, okay, what's this about? I need to know how to do this in Dead Island. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm at work. I'm doing things. Can you wait till I get home? Oh, just get back to me. So most of the times I folded and just looked it up. But I asked the guy, and I told him, yeah, Dead Island's what he's playing now, but he loves San Andreas. What game should he buy? And he goes, it doesn't matter what he plays. He should buy Skyrim. It's the best game ever. And I'm like, wow, that's some mighty big words. I've played San Andreas. I don't think I'm going to agree with you that Skyrim is the best game ever. But I told him, I said, hey, I talked to a guy. He said, since you own Xbox, you need to go out and buy a copy of Skyrim. Oh, no, I don't really want it. But he kept trying to buy me an Xbox and give me Dead Island for like the whole time so I could play, so I could give him tips. And I'm like, I don't want it. I don't want a game right now. I'm working and doing other things in life. So I quit my job. I moved back. He buys me an Xbox for coming back with Dead Island. And then he's like, yeah, I don't want Skyrim. So I played some Dead Island and it was fun, and some of the, borrowed some of the games off him, and he bought me a couple others. I think he bought me Dragon Age and I didn't much care for it. Maybe even Farming Simulator 13. We both played that for a while. But then I went out one night right around dark and I bought my own copy of Skyrim. I'm like, screw this. I'll try it. The guy gave me such glowing reviews on it. I've got to try the game. I go out, I buy it, start it up, and I get out of Helgen. I walk over to Riverwood, and I shut the game down. I call my dad, and I said, you got to go out and buy Skyrim right now. I think it was the middle of our night. I guess he could have gone to like an all-night Walmart maybe, but everything was closed otherwise. And he's like, do you know what time it is? I'm like, what? You need me to search something on the internet time kind of thing? And so the next day he went out and bought his own copy of Skyrim. And I really wish I knew now if he could only play Skyrim or Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, which one he would choose. I have to imagine it would be Skyrim. If for nothing else, the DLC kind of pushes it over. But the massive open world. He loved just all of Skyrim. So that was just so funny. And the Minecraft was kind of similar. I was saying, hey, we should get Minecraft and try it. Everyone gives glowing reviews, say it's best game ever. I don't know when this would have been, probably 2015 or something. I guess it was already out on the 360 or the Xbox One. I don't remember. I know I owned the 360 copy, so it had to be on. We bought it when it was on the 360. And I was like, one of those moments again, well, if you ain't going to buy it, I went to GameStop and some kid came in with his dad with a shoebox full of games. I don't know, like 15 or 20 of them. Asked the guy behind the counter how much they were worth. And I noticed that Minecraft was in there and they were asking like $10 for it. Used or 15 or something, and I almost told the kid, hey, I'll give you $10 for that game right now, you can sell all the rest, just give me Minecraft. And I think the guy offered him like $2 for the whole thing. I'm like, that's criminal. And rather than piss the guy off and have to go find another GameStop, I kept my mouth shut and I just bought a used copy from the store. And I went home, put it in, I did the tutorial where you had to finish building the house and punch wood to put in a door and complete the windows or what, I don't even remember, and make a crafting bench. I can't remember all the things you had to do in the tutorial. But when the tutorial ended and it's like, okay, now you can go in the open world, I called him up again. I think it was middle of the day this time. And I said, oh my God, you have got to get Minecraft. This thing is unbelievable, and I haven't even scratched the surface. And he was still reluctant with Minecraft for a while, but once he got it, the aspects that he liked about it, he absolutely loved about Minecraft. And like I said, he sunk so many hours. If I could look up his Xbox 360 and Xbox One and Xbox Series X time he put into Minecraft, I would almost bet money it would be an entire year of life. But he probably still sunk more into Skyrim and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And Elder Scrolls Online, like I said, that I know, 320 days. I couldn't find his Black Flag, but he played both on multiple Xboxes too, iterations of the Xbox. So I can't add them all together anyway. What else do I want to say? I guess now I'm getting to the point where I want to talk a little about the downsides of being old gamers like him and me. And one is, so many of the games that have come out in the last few years or whatever are multiplayer. And that's what I appreciate so much about like a Fallout 4 and Starfield, is I love that there's still companies that are releasing these AAA titles that are solo player games, and even Grand Theft Auto 5 with its solo player story mode, because he hated the toxicity, and by no means was he prude or was he not a vulgar man or an angry man or an abusive man. But when it came to gaming, he was not the same person. He wanted to, compete against other people, but he also wanted to collaborate and to cooperate. And so many of the games that he enjoyed, like Elder Scrolls Online and Grand Theft Auto Online and World of Tanks, I mean, the toxic players just ruined it for him, as they do for me and so many of us. And I mean, he just wanted to take his mind off of his health issues and the pain and the suffering he was going through, and enjoy the games that he loved, and use them as distractions and motivations, and it just gets ruined. And I don't understand these people. I don't understand why they're so toxic. And he's not on a microphone. He's not sitting here killing teammates. He's just doing his best. And, with practice, he got a hell of a lot better than I did at a lot of games. But these people were just so hateful in so many messages that he shared with me, and so many of the things he told me where they'd get on microphones and just be so abusive. And it ate him up to where he didn't want to be online with these games. And so some of them I join him for, and we do our own little two-party version of it, like the Elder Scrolls Online. And he was a premium member, and he couldn't even take advantage of going into public dungeons because he pretty much had to do it by himself because of all the toxicity of all the other players to him, and the fact that he wouldn't use a microphone. And I'm like, many of these people don't know if he's a kid or, a young girl or a sick old man. They don't give a shit. I don't know what the hell these people's problems are. I guess it says more about them, but one guy actually did something really amazing. Forever, my father wanted a certain piece of armor or a weapon that was in one of the public dungeons in Elder Scrolls Online. And I had quit playing it for years. I hated playing it multiplayer. I just hated the people. He always wanted to go to wherever it was, Cyrodiil, and take part in those massive campaigns against, the 3 factions. We actually did that too. We got our asses handed to us everywhere, every time. But he loved that so much. But one night, I just said, you know what? I had built up this half-assed character because I was not going to sink time and effort into trying to build up an OP character that would have taken me months to do. So I built up a half-assed character, and I said, let's just try it. What the hell? Maybe someone will come along. And so many times we'd be in a dungeon and we'd be flubbing it, and people would come along and dust us, or you couldn't get in their party or whatever. But I remember we were in one time, and this one guy came along. And man, this guy was overpowered. We were dying instantly to the big boss at the end. I mean, literally less than a second, we were dead. And this guy would buff up and then revive one of us. We'd instantly drop to the ground. I don't even think he would wait to see we were already dead. And he'd run to the other one. And it's like as soon as he'd revive that one, dead on the ground, he'd turn back, he did this like 3 or 4 times, just kept reviving us. Finally, I had to switch off of our private chat since my father and I only talked on the microphone to each other. And I told the other guy, I said, look, we're 2 old men. We don't have characters. We shouldn't be in this dungeon. He wants the reward for the end. I said, we're just going to log out. I'm sorry. Thank you for everything you did. And the guy's like, no problem. Hang around. And we ended up, he beat the final boss all by himself while we're laying dead on the ground. And we got the reward. And it just made his month. My father's month, just made his month. I mean, for us as a twosome running around wherever the hell it was, Cyrodiil or whatever, and trying to take over some of those buildings. I can't remember. It's been so long, where you had to beat down the door and get inside and kill off some of the NPCs if no one else was there, and then you could claim the enemy's building. I remember so many times we would try to do this. I mean, it was like Don Quixote, us 2 idiots. Sometimes, powerful people on our team would come by and help us. Sometimes weak people on the other team would come by and kill us. It was fun. It was fun. Except when the toxic people came along, which inevitably they did, and I got disgusted and quit. The same as Grand Theft Auto Online, the same as practically everything that's online nowadays. I tried to get him to play Deep Rock Galactic. I think he would have loved that game. And I'm like, we can do it, just you and me. I got a character that I got that's pretty good, and actually 4 of them. And I said, we can do this. We won't be able to do everything, but there's a lot of it I can work through with you. And he just didn't want to do it. He's like, no, it's all right. It's all right. I'll just stay in a solo game. I'm like, so depressing. It's just so depressing. He quit World of Tanks because of that. He loved that game. He spent money on it. He was a premium member in Elder Scrolls Online, wasting whatever it is, $17 a month. And he couldn't even take advantage of some of it because he couldn't deal with the online people. And dog, everyone's looking at me. It's just depressing. I don't understand it. But I guess to kind of wrap it all up and finish where I started, he's partially the reason, well, I guess technically he's all the reason that I really started this channel. One was a distraction. I needed something to take my mind off of watching my father die. And I had never made videos, and I'm not that good at video games, but it inspired me, the toxicity that him and I saw in multiplayer especially, that I wanted to try to, give information that I thought would be useful to other people, that it might not be, readily known. And like the Forza Horizon Legendary Painter video, God, I thought that was going to blow up. I thought I was going to have thousands of followers, or whatever they call them on YouTube, subscribers. I thought that video would have 1 million views, and I thought people would be stealing it from me, and I don't think anyone ever did, and only, more than enough watched the video. And if even only one person had ever used that information that I put up in those videos to get Legendary Painter, or even to try to do Legendary Painter to see success, I would have been over the moon. But that, probably more than a dozen or 2 dozen used that strategy to get Legendary Painter. Felt so good. And then even now, I don't know how the Power Wash Simulator videos I put up about the challenges are, but every week or so I get another person or 2 or even 3 saying that they used the strategies that I was giving there, and it helped them to get a medal. And on through some of the other videos. And that was the reason I started the channel, was first as a distraction, from what was going on around me. And second, as hey, maybe if I pay it forward, some other people, it'll start a kind of movement. And maybe it'll start changing gaming in small ways for some people, or it'll reinforce in some people that, hey, let's all work together. We can still compete against each other. We don't have to be flaming assholes when we do it. And, I like to think that we can all just be gamers helping each other. And, who cares if you're, better than 98% of the other gamers out there? You still aren't number one. So you're still a loser to someone else. And who cares if you're number one in a specific video game? You're still a loser in probably all the others. It's not that important. Is that why we game? I mean, if you're making money off of it, I suppose it is, if it's your job. But even then, you don't have to be a flaming asshole about it. If you don't like the way someone else is playing, then leave. Don't have to be around them. You don't have to insult them and cuss at them and call them racial epithets and misogynistic names when you don't even know if they're white, black, female, male, gay, straight. I mean, it's fucking disgusting, and it needs to stop. It needs to never have existed in games or out of games, in society. This is all, it's just who we are, isn't it? I mean, it's who so many of us are, that we can't just get along. I don't know. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this channel anymore. I'm not going to take it down, at the very least, because there are people. I still every once in a great while get someone who watches a Space Lines from the Far Out video, or I'm trying to think of other videos I've done. I just don't do them anymore. I've been so depressed over the last months. I did a Starfield video or 2, I think. I've done some about my opinions on games, and the only reason I've only done those is because I haven't really been playing them long enough to do anything more than give a brief opinion, because I've just been down. I mean, I For a guy who literally played video games probably 12 to 15 hours a day, I don't know if he played on average 12 or 15 hours a fucking month this last year. He was so sick and in the hospital so much. And that's something I wanted to document for myself. It was so sad that I knew he was dying, and doctors were acting and nurses were acting like, oh, we're going to get you better. We're going to take you home. And I'm like, stop giving him false hope. He's fucking dying. You can see it. He doesn't have weeks to months to live. He has hours to days. And they kept giving him this false hope. And so his birthday was coming up, and it was going to be tomorrow. And I said, to the doctor when I went in to visit him, I'm like, I want two things. I want to bring him a cupcake for his birthday. It'll be small because he's diabetic, and it'll probably have sugar because I can't get one. They're like, oh, that's no big deal. I'm like, yeah, no shit, because he's fucking dying. What does it care if a diabetic? What do you care if a diabetic has sugar cupcake when he's dying? But I said, and the second thing is, even more so than food, maybe, he loves video games. He hasn't been able to play his Xbox in forever. He's been just so sick and in the hospital almost the whole time. I'd like to bring it by tomorrow, plug it up to the TV, and let him play for like an hour or two, and then I'll take it home. I said, nobody here has to do anything. I'll make sure he's quiet. If a nurse comes in to help for something, I'll make sure he stops. And they're like, oh, no, you can leave it here. He can keep it. And I'm like, yeah, that's because they're finally going to admit to me, without saying so, they know he's a dead man, but they're acting like he's going to live. And I'm like, okay, thank you. I go in and I talk to him, and he was so sick. He was like always trying to concentrate on just suppressing the suffering and the pain and focusing on his will to stay alive. And I told him, I said, great news. The doctor said I can bring you your Xbox tomorrow, and I can plug it into the TV, and I don't even have to take it home. He's like, I don't want it. And I'm like, no, you don't get it. I'll connect it to the Wi-Fi here, and you can play all the games you want. You can do your ships. We can get together. We can play whatever, Minecraft or any game you want. He's like, I don't want my Xbox here. And I was like, really? And I looked and I said, oh, it's the TV. The TV's too small, tiny TV. And his eyesight had been failing for years. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll bring my big screen TV in, and I'll plug it in. I'll bring a table for it. I said, we'll hook it up. I don't want it. I don't have time. I don't have the energy. I can't focus on it. I need to concentrate. And I'm like, this guy is doing everything he can to stay alive. And gaming now is no longer an option. And like I said, he lasted about 10 days after that. And that last week was so horrible. He was out of his mind most of the time. And the times that he would be there, he was fighting so hard to not die. And I used to joke that he was no tough guy. He can beat a kid, but when I got to be an older teenager, the beating stopped. He knew. And he was tough. I don't know anyone, including myself, who wouldn't have tapped out with the pain and suffering that man went through at the end of his life. And he never gave up, even as they stopped all treatments, all medications for him, and just gave him, medicine to ease his suffering. He never gave up. He never wanted to die. And that's a tough son of a bitch. And, for me, I'm going to continue, at least, even if it's not through this channel, even if it's just through video games, I'm going to continue to try to be that cooperative person with other gamers and other people, and not get pissed off at the person who doesn't smash their foot on the gas at a green light because maybe their family member's dying, or maybe they just had bad news, maybe they lost their job. maybe we should all just try to be a little more compassionate, especially a gaming community. You think we could all, rally around a love for something so special and so unnecessary in life as gaming. So, oh well, that's my 2 cents. Rest in peace.